Yayoi Kusama. While searching the web for designers, I stumbled upon Yayoi Kusama's peculiar creations. I wasn't used to seeing these designs, and thus was intrigued into making the designer presentation on Yayoi Kusama and her unique style. Yayoi Kusama was born in 1929 in Matsumoto, Nagano, Japan, to Shigeru Kusama. Yayoi Kusama was born to a family wealthy from their many plantations, but strict on their traditions. For an aspiring artist like Yayoi, this meant trouble. Traditionally, in her family, women were expected to become respecting housewives, but Yayoi rebelled against the fact and spent her time drawing from the early age of 10. Her family showed great opposition, but not as much as her own mother would. Yayoi's mother would constantly forbid her from painting, until it got to the point where, Yayoi says, "My mother overturned my paint box and threw everything and said that if you want to paint, don't come back home." After talking it out with her psychiatric doctor, Yayoi and her family came to the conclusion that she had to live on her own, or risk the happenings of constant fights between her and her family. As luck would have it, one of Yayoi's relatives was a minister of Japan, which eased her transition into New York, where Yayoi knew it was the place to create and compete in the arts. This was also the place where, on top of the Empire State Building, Yayoi promised to make her name known and one day conquer New York. Yayoi said she would do this, quote unquote, with my passion for the arts and mountains of creative energy stirred inside myself. However, her journey, like her upbringing, wouldn't be a cakewalk. Yayoi would oftentimes spend day after day painting, drawing, and experimenting, so much that it was almost obsessive, ending with her possessing canvases up to 33 feet long. Even after filling paintings, Even after filling the painting's large canvas, Yayoi Kusama's paintings were hardly ever contained in their quadratic, prisoning canvases, often spilling out onto the walls and floors. These habits caused Yayoi to have hallucinations, where her work would grow and grow until it swallowed reality itself and enveloped all of her surroundings. This, Yayoi says, is how I became an environmental artist. When visiting Yayoi Kusama's expositions, viewers are immediately captivated by the repetitious patterns and dominant polka dots that seem to infest most art pieces. Yayoi has mentioned that she doesn't have to force the polka dots into her art. Yayoi Kusama simply states, "Well, moon is a polka dot, sun is a polka dot, the earth where we live on is also a polka dot, and through them I wanted to see a philosophy of life." To recreate this idea, Yayoi Kusama created several mirror rooms. Rooms plated with mirrors and decorated with several hanging electrical orbs. These orbs change color from time to time. But that's but what's truly mesmerizing is how this room creates the illusion of an infinite cosmos. Several artists have attempted this before, but as the viewer observing a painting, one always knew that this infinity was really confined to the borders of a canvas. However, with Yayoi Kusama's mirror rooms, as long as you don't slam yourself into a wall, your surroundings will seem as an infinite void of twinkling orbs. And here's a little video to show you what they look like.
This exhibition is a selected survey of Yayoi Kusama's infinity mirror rooms. It spans from, the mirror rooms span from 1965 to 2016, and each of the rooms are very distinct. And so it's not a retrospective, but it does contextualize her mirror rooms and includes paintings, sculptures, works on paper, archival materials, film that all help us understand her vision of this immersive practice that is her infinity mirror rooms.
I think all the tickets we've made available, and it's close to 100,000, have been sold out, yes. And there will be more ticket opportunities coming up in the next weeks and months. Outreach into social media has generated a lot of interest, but I think that what makes it really special is that here we are in 2018 with an artist who's been making art for over 7 decades, creating an experience that is very much analog, and it has to be really lived and experienced in person. And I think that there's a desire to have those kinds of wondrous moments that those installations provide to our audiences.
To me, I think it's that impossibility of capturing the mirror rooms. You know, people take photos and post it on Instagram, but you really can't experience unless you're physically in the space. So that is the one, you know, attraction about this show that makes people want to come. Kusama doesn't use social media, and she reads the newspaper, but she's not somebody who, I mean, she's in her late 80s. And so her staff brings, you know, photos or reviews, but she primarily works within her studio from 9 to 6 every day, and is, I mean, her art is what makes her very happy. And she's just, I think, over the moon, you know, that her work has reached so many people.
Apart from the polka dots, Yayoi Kusama also has another prominent feature in her paintings. And this is Willies. This one is more inclined to what Yayoi Kusama calls obsessions of fear. Not only did Yayoi's mother have her faults, for Yayoi's father also failed as a devout father figure. As a direct consequence, Yayoi Kusama grew up fearing and hating sexual interactions, and often obsessively painted willies to release stress. Yayoi Kusama said, as a kind of art therapy, I created lots of sex, i.e., sexual scenes, filled a room with them, and I lost my fear. Now Yayoi Kusama resides in a hospital for the mental ill in Tokyo, where she voluntarily decided to live since 1977. Yayoi's decision was taken after she had spent 3 to 4 days painting without stopping to eat or even to hydrate herself. This led to her collapse and eventually to her relocation. This, however, didn't mean that Yayoi Kusama would stop painting. Across the street from the mental institution, Yayoi's studio is located. Here, Yayoi Kusama spends her day from 9 to 6 painting, working, and creating artworks that will eventually inspire those who are open to her style. The end. And here are the citations. Hope you enjoyed it.